Because I sat in these same seats, hoping, wishing, dreaming that I had an opportunity to get up out of here. Hoping, wishing, dreaming that somebody said, you know what, I want to help pull you where you're from to get you where you're trying to go. But in the midst of my darkness, I had to believe in my faith. It took for my educators, a lady by the name of Natalie Charles, in the 7th grade. I'm about to fight this lady in class, probably first day of school too. Because we finna fight. Because what she did was she saw a deficiency within me. I couldn't read. I barely could do math. And she saw that and she pulled me from the back when I'm out there cutting up, come on up to the front. I came up to the front, but I'm fighting change now. Mama dropped out at 17. Daddy dropped out as well. Brother didn't graduate. I'm next in line to fail too. So I'm sure some of you all feel as if I'm up against the odds. You might be up against the odds, but therefore you see somebody that went against them and is able to tell you, you can, you will make it. That's what you got to put on your mirror every day in the morning. I can, I will, I must make it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So what I ended up doing was I decided to not fight against this change that Miss Charles was trying to bring into my life. I ended up saying, you know what? She got to be doing something. There has to be something serious in order for her to take an investment in me. Mind you, mama gone. So I'm already mad. 2-sport All-American, football and track, but couldn't read. And I know a lot of you males, sometimes in here you start real small, got a lot of talent. You can do it all, but when it comes down to these academics, you struggle. The backing, that's why parents, it's important for you to start backing your kids in this approach. Because it's more so than just shooting the basketball, kicking it, and catching it. Because if they ain't shooting opportunities and actually catching the blessings that God is trying to give them, they done missed the whole boat. With or without $1 million, they got to be able to function. I'm sorry. With or without that phone call, that $1 million contract, the Nike shoes, or anything like that, they still got to be able to be a productive and responsible citizen in life. You already know it. So students, so while you're in these classrooms, I need for you to get as much information you can and apply it. But what has happened? Some of you all flap your gums all day. You think you know it all. And what happens? Teachers get tired. They human beings too. But this is why parents, it is your job to ensure that your child get a great education. To ensure that it happens. Teachers, yes, they get paid by the government. It is what it is. They get hired. When they sign the little, cool, I'm going to teach, that's their job. But it's your job to make sure it happens. So even if your child is having whatever inside the classroom or they struggling, cool. I got to get off work early, do whatever it is you got to do. I don't know your situation. However, you just got to know your child needs you. So here's 3 concepts that you need, students, when you go to class. Be quiet, listen, and apply it. It's just that simple. And parents, I need for you to co-sign on that. Be quiet, listen, and apply it. That's all they got to do. But what's happening is they run their mouth in class, think they know it all. They don't believe in it as if they do know it all. And they want to apply it and say it ain't working. Because you ain't trying it. It's time for you to get out of your comfort zone. And we pushing you there. Ain't no excuse. You have 0. I'm sorry. You have 0. You're looking at somebody that done made it. Okay? Put myself through school. Not 1, but 2 degrees. Not to brag, but to go back and say, I got to go back and get my family. I ain't do it for me. I did it for my family. And some of y'all got dependents. Some of y'all got siblings in here, cousins, whoever, aunties looking at y'all for y'all to make it. We always say diamonds are in the rough, right? Well, in order for you to find a diamond, you got to go in the rough places. And I believe in each and every last one of you all in this room for you to become productive, responsible, and caring citizens. So on the count of 3, I want you all to repeat after me. I want you to say, I'm going to make it. Just like that. I want you to say it with your heart and your mind and your whole being. On the count of 3, I'm going to make it. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make it. Y'all sound a little weak there. And the reason why I say you sound weak is because you might be saying it for me. I know we over at 7 o'clock-ish, something like that. This event supposed to be over. And guess what? You got to go back to your real reality. You got to go back to your real reality. So whatever that is, lights off at home. You eating Roman noodles. I don't know. Some of y'all might be eating lobsters. I don't know. Whatever it is. But you got to go back to your reality, and on Monday morning, it's going to get real for you. So on the count of 3, I need for you to really dig deep for real, and say, I'm going to make it. Think about whoever it is you got to think about, mama, grandmama, whoever it is, brothers and sisters, say, the reason why I'm going to make it just so that they can make it. So on the count of 3, I need for you to truly say and mean it, I'm going to make it. 1, 2, 3. And that's the attitude you got to have no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets. With the help of God, you got to know within yourself, within your being, with everything in here, that you going to make it. Because the mindset is, I can, I will, and I must succeed. Because somebody in this room, if not in the community somewhere, is depending on you to make it. In my mind, I'm in the NFL. Literally, this is my NFL. I'm sorry, I may not be on primetime TV doing a highlight holding up a Super Bowl championship, but this is my championship right here. Being able to get a text message and say, hey, coach, I made it. Hey, coach, I got the 3.0. Because I remember when he had a 1.9. That's a Super Bowl for me. Coach, here's your personal invitation to my high school graduation, to my college graduation. I'm receiving this stuff from kids all over the country. That's my Super Bowl. This is my NFL. And what I mean by the NFL, not the National Football League, the Now Faith League. Because I'm in the now of my faith of what I had 10 years ago. So that's the purpose of faith. Somebody said earlier about faith. That's faith. Is able to walk through something that you know that you may not physically see, but you see in your mind. And a guy by the name of Marcus Singleton, he was only on my school campus for 1 year. My junior year, I had passed. You all have, what is it called? FSA. When I was in school, it's called FCAT. I had failed it 3 times. 3 times I failed this test. I had one more opportunity to make it. One more. This is it. So my 3rd time, I'm at the balcony, leaning over, crying. This dude put his arm around me and said, come here, son. That's my first time hearing in a long time, son. Son to me represented acceptance. Son represented to me, man, this guy actually really cared about me because he called me son. I felt like I belonged to somebody now. Few weeks later, he gives me a call. I'm at the shelter and everything. He's like, yo, hey, tomorrow I need you at the school at like 7 a.m. We finna go to school. We finna go to college on a college tour. I'm like, I ain't going on a college tour. You crazy. I had never been outside of Boynton Beach. Just like some of you all probably have never been outside Orlando. Well, this is a big city. Some of y'all have never probably even been to UCF. That's on the other side of town. So from there, I end up going to the school, sitting on this cram bus, 16-passenger bus, riding on the bus for 3 hours up here to Orlando, for him to then tell me as soon as we get to campus, go get out AD, get out and touch the sign. Out of everybody that was there, he said, Anthony, get out and go touch this sign. So I get out and touch this sign. He like, how does it feel? I don't feel nothing. He was like, no. How does it feel for you to touch the sign? Then it hit me that I had always told him I wanted to go to college. I had never been. I had only seen it on TV. What he was trying to get me to see is it's obtainable. It can happen. You here. So even though he knew I was going to be up here for 3 or 4 hours to see this school that I only saw in my mind, he brought it to reality. But he also knew we had to get on that bus and I had to go back to my reality. That after every exit, my light was getting dim because I had to go back to my darkness, the hood, the trap, the gutter, the ghetto, whatever. So even though that light was off, I was not longer touching the sign anymore. I'm back in Boynton Beach. He knew the light was going to stay on in my mind. So enough, I graduate with honors from the University of Central Florida. And had I not come up here, had he not brought up here, had God not placed this man in my life, him, Miss Charles, making Mr. Frederick, so on and so forth, I promise you, I would be dead in jail right now. I promise you. So the fact he saw something in me that I had always said I wanted to do, he made it a reality for a few hours. But he knew it was going to stick with me for the rest of my life. At 12, I held my grandmother's .38 pistol in my mouth. I'm ready to commit suicide. Ready. Gun fully loaded and everything. Because it was already too much for me. I felt like, why am I here? Why am I going through all this here? Why is it the fact that I can't have mom and dad? Why? So I felt helpless. So when I held the gun in my mouth, my grandmama came out. She said, boy, what you doing? I said, Grandma, I just can't take it no more. She said, you got purpose. She said, I believe you if nobody else believes in you. So the simple fact that at that point in time, I felt like I couldn't make it, that I wasn't going to go. That's at 12. I felt like at 12, I went through worse than what anybody at 32, 40 years old had ever went through. I'm talking about in and out of the court system, DCF coming to the house, coming to the school. I'm like, man, what's going on here? But because she told me, she said, you have a true purpose, and I would not be going through all these things here if I did not believe in you and believe what God had told me about you and your brother. And she looked me square in my eyes with tears rolling down her face. She at that time like 60 some years old. And when I saw that, that did something to me. That broke me. But it didn't break me necessarily in a negative sense. It broke me because it was birthing something great in me. So at that time, I felt as if I couldn't make it. But when she told me that, that stuck in my head. And that's why I was able to be here.